opportunity, North Carolina, January 18, 2025. The dream lives on. We are having a march in the city of Clinton, starting at the Farmers Market, 9 a.m., marching to the Civic Center. At the Civic Center, we have multicultural groups performing. We have food there. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be an exciting city. I am sitting here with Chief Fire Department Thornton, correct? Mr.
Yes.
Thornton?
Yes, sir.
How you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Very good. How young are you, man? Because you look young, man. How young are you?
29.
29 years old. What got you into fire? What got you into this?
I started out when I was 16.
16
Volunteer.
years old. Wow. And been in ever since.
Yes, sir.
And how do you feel? How do you feel at your young age that you're leading the pack right now? How do you feel about that?
It's different, but I take all my education experience and the people around me and the support group I've got and just pass that along to the people that's up under me.
Got it. And we're here today to do an interview about the Dr. Martin Luther King March. What does, because me and you, let's be real. I'm African American, you're Caucasian, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, you had to grow up hearing the march. I hear about Martin Luther King. What does that mean to you? Like as right now, this position where you're at right now, what does that mean?
I mean, I think it relates because you bring everybody together. I mean, no matter color, ethnicity, where they're from, we bring everybody together and for one common goal, and that's what Dr. Martin Luther King did. Got
it. And you have African Americans on your fire department, correct?
Yes.
Good stuff. So are you marching with us January 18th?
Yes, sir, I'll be there.
Okay. My question is, how do you see the event strengthening the bond between the office and the community?
It's, unity and bringing the community together, and it's all about community engagement and getting the community involved in what we do, and they get to see us out and about, and they know who we are, and it builds a strong bond and strong relationship.
Yeah. And then you go out on tragedies too, correct? You go out, a lot of people, houses burning,
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What would you say if Martin Luther King was here right now and you had the opportunity to say anything to him? What would you ask him? What would you ask Dr.?
I would ask him about how he was able to continue what he was doing when everybody was against him. How he was so resilient and, getting his word out and getting everybody together, and because that's hard for somebody to do, especially back then.
Yeah, very much. A lot more against you back then to right now. And do you see our city? Because I've been kind of driving around the city and been speaking to people, and our city is unified. We actually have one of the number one cities that is unified. To you as a chief, and you're out and about, do you think we're unified?
Oh yeah, I mean, you can see it. Anytime something happens, it don't matter who you are, people come up, they offer to help, Just like yesterday, you heard me speaking.
Yeah, I did.
Yep. People drive by and they're always looking out for other people, and yesterday it worked out great.
Yeah, and what, you got called out there yesterday? Were you out there too? Mm-hmm. And what happened? What was? I mean, I'm sorry to jump off.
We just had a heater on fire, AC unit on fire. But the lady riding by, she didn't know whose house it was. She seen it. She turned around, came back, called it in. People always looking out for each other.
Now, what does the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King mean to you? What does that legacy mean just to you? Of all what he went through, the speeches, the marches, we've seen it on TV. We have. From your angle, what does that mean just personally to you?
Being resilient, no matter what, people around you, if they don't like what you're doing, and it's for the right cause and the best thing, you keep doing it.
Yeah, that's some good stuff. I like that, man. I like that stuff. If there's anything that you could say or change in the community, what would it be?
Just making sure everybody stays on the same page and stays unified and works together for common goals and making the place better.
Yeah, good stuff, man. Good stuff. You're young too. So are you going to retire as the chief? Do you think you're going to retire? Is that your goal?
That's my goal in about 20 years.
Hey, at least, and you're a native from this city, correct? Are you from the city?
Well, I'd stay right outside. I grew up probably 5 miles outside the city.
Okay, got it. But you're Sampson County. Mm-hmm. Wow, good stuff. I thank you so much, man, for coming out, man. If there's anything that you could say to the people, what would you want to say?
Just, remember to stay unified and everybody have one common goal to make the country and the city and county safer.
Good stuff. Thank y'all so much for coming out. Thank you again for coming out, man. January 18, 2025, the dream lives on. Farmers Market, 9 a.m., Civic Center. music, food. See y'all there.
If you run a business, you need sales. To get sales, you need customers. To get customers, you need exposure. Let our team of experts craft and produce the perfect video ad to reach your intended audience while making the most of your advertising dollars. Call 1-800-706-6538 or visit starcom.net to contact our Star Communications production team and get your business moving to the next level.
Les Matthis here, State of Opportunity, North Carolina, January 18th in the city of Clinton, North Carolina. The Dream Lives On March. That's right, y'all. The Dream Lives On March. 9 a.m. at the farmers market, marching to the Civic Center, where we're going to have multicultural groups, where we're going to have food, we're going to fellowship, we're going to be under one umbrella, which is called love. I am sitting here right now and blessed and honored to be here with Commissioner Lee. How you doing today?
I'm doing fine. How about you?
I'm beautiful. I must say you're absolutely gorgeous.
Oh
I must
God.
tell you that right there. I love the way your outfit is fitting. You look very, very nice. I will get that off. Let's just get that out the way right here, okay?
Appreciate that.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Any
ma'am.
kind of compliment. It's always good.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So the march, January. You heard about it through what? It was a young man like me that came and
Yes.
brought it
When
up.
you spoke.
So this march is January 18th. When you heard it, what was your thoughts about that?
You know, really, when I heard you speak and talk about it, my mind went back to 1967.
Wow.
You
Okay.
know, what a time.
Wow.
What a time. Just to be in the presence of Martin Luther King Jr. when all of this was going on.
Yeah.
All this history, this rich, fresh history that I wish the young people knew now.
Yeah.
They have no idea of what it was like to. I never met him personally, but I could see him on TV, and it would be just like we were together.
Yeah. Yes.
Because he was such a great man. He was just that great.
Yeah.
I believe that if our children had some kind of idea or knowledge of what he stood for and what he did, they wouldn't be the way they are now.
Yeah.
They would be more self-sufficient,
Yeah.
more loving, more concerned, and that would help the seasoned members like me.
And
it really would help us a lot to know that there's really somebody that cared.
Yeah.
The young people really care.
Yeah.
And you know, it's hard to find any that you can say really, really care.
Yeah.
Because they in their own head and doing their own thing. And it's not like it was when I was growing up.
Yeah, and definitely saying that there's more technology now that interrupts the flow of having that unity, having that conversation. You know, I go to restaurants sometimes, and all I see is people on the phone, and it's like 5 people at the table. Everybody's on the phone. You know what I mean? So the technology has changed, and I like that. You know that you said that. You know, back then, what you have experienced, I could only imagine, and I'm glad you said that, because if Martin Luther King was alive, Jr. was alive right now, and he was sitting right here from you, what would you ask him? What would you want to know?
First of all, I would ask him, how does it feel to have so many people to follow you? So many people interested in the message that you have and the sincerity that we all know that you have. How does it feel, you know, to have that happen to you? Because it's an experience that he didn't bring on himself. And people have to realize that it was a God-given experience. You know, God was with him all the whole while he was marching, and even when he came up with the idea, I want to do this. It was God. It wasn't Martin Luther King. It was not Dr. Martin Luther King. It was God. That's why it took off so and so fast, because it was God. He followed God's instructions. You know, a lot of times people say, well, how come they doing it for him or for her and they wouldn't do it for me? Because it's God.
Yeah. Oh, God.
God have to ordain things in people's life, and a lot of times people don't know that. You know, I'll give an example. Just like me, I was very happy doing what I was doing on my job. I had no idea that I was going to run for county commissioner. I was coming to work one morning and listening to my gospel music to pep me up and get me ready for the day.
Me too.
And I was about 2 miles from work, I heard a voice. It said, I want you to run for county commissioner. I looked over, I knew there was nobody in the car but me. I looked over, I said, who, me? He didn't say nothing for another 2 or 3 seconds. So as I drove on, it said, who better than you? I said, I don't know. He said, you've been working in this county over 30 years. You know most of the people, you know the places, you know people's needs, you know what people like, you know enough that you can help them. He said, I just want you to help my people. And I had so much faith and confidence in that message that when I got out of my car, I went straight to the director's office and stood. I didn't even put my pocketbook down. I said, I've got to resign. She looked at me, she said, are you serious?
A good paying job, too.
I said, yeah, I'm afraid so. She said, what brought this on? I said, I just got the word on the way to work. That's what I had to do. She said, well, if you're sure that's what you got to do, there's nothing I can do but accept your resignation. So I told her why, and she said, well, I guess you got to do it then. If you got the word. When you get the word, you react to it. And somebody asked me, said, how you know that was God speaking to you? I said, he said, my sheep know my voice, and I know that I'm one of his sheep. And as soon as I heard it, I knew it was his voice, because nobody was there but me.
So that leads me to my next question, because, you know, I hear from you that you hear God's voice. And Dr. Martin Luther King had to hear God's voice, to get as far as he did from planning it. And I know so many people probably was against him. I know people are like, hey, don't do it. Don't jump out there. They're going to beat you up. You're going to die, da-da-da-da. But he was like, long as God is beside me.
Long as God
is beside me. So how do you think we can maintain that love that Martin Luther King had to right now? How do we maintain that love? What would be your suggestions, that we can kind of try to guide by, if you were gonna?
Well, I'm in the same position Dr. Martin Luther King was in almost, but because when I ran and I won, I was the first black woman ever to become county commissioner in Sampson County. So that's and it still is a privilege, And
you're the only woman, correct? You're only...
Now I'm the only woman. There was a woman on before I got on, but she resigned in November, so that left only me. Because when they replaced her with a gentleman. So I've got to feel my way among 4 gentlemen. And that may not be easy at times. It may not be easy, but,
as long as you got God
but I'm
on
up
your
for the test. I'm up for the test.
It seems your spirit. It seems very well going. I listen to you, and it's like you think before you speak.
You must.
I see that. And what do you what does the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. mean to you in your office? Because I came in, spoke about the march, you heard it, and I know immediately, because that whole weekend, we have now begun to shine light on the weekend. I think it started just, it was one day. I believe it was the prayer breakfast that we had, and I believe that was the Monday. Now, Saturday, I'm coming along right before them on that Saturday with the march and the banquet. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe on Friday there's a prayer breakfast. I think it's a prayer breakfast, and I believe it's in Newton Grove, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not really certain. I just overheard, and so we're enlightening on that whole weekend. What does that legacy mean to you and your office, because you're standing here as a commissioner of a district, correct? Over a district.
A district.
Yeah. What does that mean to you personally, and then also what does it mean as the commissioner inside of your office?
To me personally, it takes me back to when we were going through Jim Crow, slavery. It takes me back all the way back there, and I remember the hard times that we had. And I know that going through those hard times and being in the situation at the moment made me who I am today. There is no way I would have even considered anything like this, because it wouldn't have been possible back then. But now I look at it and see how far we have come and how far we still got to come in order, to get everything rectified. But some people, they want to stagnate the process because we're in line for things now. We're in line to be free. We're in line for things to work in our favor. And some people don't want that to happen. They want us to stay.
It's considered to be uneducated. Now we have education.
Right.
You have a degree, I can only imagine.
We have education.
We didn't have it back then.
Nope. We didn't have the knowledge. We didn't have the education, so therefore we didn't have the knowledge to even want to move further than what we could see. But now there's so much more than what we can see, and we're adventurous, and we want to get out there and explore and see, because, my golly, we are intelligent people.
Oh, very much. Yeah, very much.
Black people are very, very intelligent. Even way back to when I was going to school in the 60s, no computers, no dictionaries hardly, no encyclopedias hardly. But we learned what we needed to learn. It was, and I'll take that back even further. That happened because of our parents. We had parents back then that were parents. And that's what's making the difference in our lives. The way that we were raised, we knew there were certain things we couldn't do, certain things we could do, and we kept it moving. If we couldn't do it, we found out real early that we couldn't do it, and we moved on. But now the children just aren't that way. And it's a sad situation for me to see it, because I came through when children were children. Children didn't have to play the role of a grown-up. Now most of them got to just about think, what am I going to do next? They don't have anybody to do that thinking for them. And that's sad, because they're growing up before they're really ready, because they're still children. And what does a child know?
Here, my organization, State of Opportunity, North Carolina, what I was taught was always problem, solution. And the younger generation, and I say it very from the heart, has grasped a lot so quick. They're being thrown when like my dad's 1927. He's 97 years old. Education was not part of, it was working. When he was growing up, he was the oldest brother. It was strictly, had to be out there, had to be in the field. I remember just recently, me and him was talking about this, the march and the banquet. And he said, Leslie, I drove down to see Martin Luther King in Washington, D.C., and he told me I got about maybe 600, 700 feet from Martin Luther King. And he said that just overwhelmed him. He said back when he was growing up, the city that we lived in back then, when Dr. Martin Luther King died, the African Americans went out to the streets. They went out and they were upset, and but Martin Luther King was about peace. He was about love. And in the State of Opportunity, that's what we want to do. We want to bring love. We want to unite with other organizations to bring love to our city. We're a united city. I did a history compared to other cities. We're so much ahead of other cities. We're so much unified, you know. God is so good. I love your spirit. Like everyone's that been on here, I love y'all spirit, man. Y'all are, God chooses the people that needs to be here.
Yeah.
You know, he does.
Yeah, he does.
And I tell you, you are one, for me, you know, I love you. You know what I mean? I love you as a woman, you know, as an African American, a strong woman too. You know, you're strong because you're in a position, you know, to fight for our people. You're fighting for the women's rights now. You see what I'm saying? In that position. And we love that, you know, and it's unity, you know, unity. And we will, you know, you brought something to my attention about the young kids. We have to find a solution for that.
Yeah.
And if there's anything that you could say to the people, anything at all, what would you say about Dr. Martin Luther King?
Okay, let me back up 1 minute. You
Go
was
ahead.
talking about the children. We need to educate children. We need to educate our parents.
Okay, yes. Okay.
We need to start with the
Yeah,
parents
okay.
because the children didn't do anything.
Yeah, yeah,
They were just born.
yeah.
And when they come here, they had no earthly idea how to raise themselves. But they've been left with that petition to do that. You know, some of them, like when some of them are being taken out of the home, they squirm and cry because they don't want to leave mama.
Yeah,
I got to take care of mama.
Yeah.
That's what they be saying.
Yeah.
I can't leave mama. I got to take care of her. And that should not be a child's place,
Yeah.
to have the obligation of taking care of mama. Mama's supposed to be taking care of the child. And we've got to get back there because that's the way our parents did. They didn't leave us out there to raise ourselves or to fend for ourselves or to get things on our own. They always provided and made a way for us to have things. And I'm just so appreciative of that. And I believe that that's the journey that we've got to teach our parents today. And if we get back to that, I believe we'd have a much better world because the children that are coming up now are the ones that's going to be in this creation of this world. That's, if we don't do something now, it's going to be tore down and broke down. But I believe it can be fixed, but we got to try.
Yeah.
We just got to try. There's nothing that can't be fixed.
Amen.
Anything can be fixed, but you
Amen.
got to try.
Amen.
Got to
Thank you
try.
again so much, Ms. Lee. Thank you for taking your time out. State of Opportunity, North Carolina, January 18th, 2025. Farmers Market, City of Clinton. The march, the dream lives on. See y'all there at 9 o'clock. God bless y'all, love y'all, and thank you again.
Thank you.
Computer viruses, malware, and ransomware are out there. They're dangerous, and they can steal your identity and damage your equipment. Star Communications is now offering Protect IQ. The service adds an extra layer of protection to every device connected to your network, working quietly in the background. Star can help you protect yourself from the inside out with Protect IQ. Call Star today and take advantage of this free service when you sign up for whole home Wi-Fi with Star Communications.
Matthis here. January 18th, State of Opportunity North Carolina presents the Dream Lives On March here in the city of Clinton. Starts at 9 a.m. at the Farmers Market. Oh my God, it's going to be great. Unity in the community. I am here at the post office with
Kenneth Hicks.
Kenneth Hicks. How you doing, Mr. Kenneth Hicks?
Finding yourself.
What is your position here? What do you do?
At a particular time, I'm a 204B supervisor.
Good stuff, good stuff. So you supervise over how many people?
Approximately 25 or 30.
25 or 30. See here, we have a march coming on January 18th, 2000. What does that mean to you to have a march about Martin Luther King?
Well, first of all, we got to realize what the march is for.
Okay.
And then what his dream was before the march. Martin Luther King's dream was to set aside and let the people know that that before the end of time, that this world will come through a lot of chaos. And the Lord showed him a vision before he was assassinated. And he had a dream that he wanted this world to be created equal and the people to be also created equal. And without that being provided from the man up above, that there was no vision. So the vision was from God to Martin Luther King. And he had that dream. And he wanted to march to emphasize and also exercise the right of people, that they might have the right to a tree of life. And they also be treated equal.
So if Martin Luther King was here right now, and you had the opportunity to talk to Martin Luther King, what would you say to him?
Well, first of all, I would introduce myself to him and then shake his hand. And I would say, Mr. King, job well done. Because the job that he did before the world, it emphasized that what he did was done for a reason. And the reason was that all men and women are created equal.
Good stuff, good stuff. I thank you so much for taking your time out. I appreciate it, man. We're here at the post office in the city of Clinton, North Carolina. What's your name, sir?
Paul Bragiel.
Paul Bragiel. What do you do? What are you?
I am the Postmaster here at the Clinton Post Office.
So as we were talking, like, you have a building, right? And the question is, what is one place that all nationalities come to?
Postal Office. Everybody comes here to deal with my employees, my staff, mail out packages, letters, flats, and we treat everybody like they us, like one.
So you're almost like Martin Luther King in a way.
I just wish I was famous.
I think in a way you actually are, because all nationalities come here.
You're right. They do.
Yeah.
They do.
And you treat everybody fair.
Of course. You got no choice.
Yeah.
Why would I treat you differently?
Good stuff. Good stuff.
You know,
man.
it's life, man. We all live together, man.
Yeah.
Under this beautiful country.
Let me ask you a question. Since this march, we're doing a march here. Let me ask you a question. If Martin Luther King was here right now, in your presence, and it was just you and him, what question would you ask him?
I would just ask him how he became so famous.
How
with
he
just
one word. One word. And what word was that?
Dream. Dream lives on.
Wow, the dream lives on. Now, my next question to ask you, and you're the Postmaster, with this march that we're doing here, right?
Yes, sir.
How is that impacting? Like, how does that play a fact? What is your nationality?
I'm Polish.
You're Polish. How does that play a part in this march with you being Polish at the city of Clinton? How does that play a part?
I look at it as we all live as we all one. We all one. We're all transparent. We're not divided. We're all one, united. We all bleed the same. We all got the same heartbeat. We all believe in one God.
Yeah.
And to do this in presence of everybody, makes me feel as we're all going to be one unity, one community.
Yeah.
No matter who you are, what you look like.
And you were telling me, if I'm not mistaken, me and you were talking, and you were the one that told me, you said the city of Clinton is more unified than it actually is. And is that something that you believe?
I do believe so, yes.
Okay.
I do believe so. You got a
Okay.
couple people that are trying to separate, but with all the conversations that I have with my customers, I feel it's turning big time, and it's a blessing.
Got it.
It's a
How
blessing.
many staff members do you have here?
40.
40 staff members.
Yes, sir.
And these people go out and deliver mail. You have clerks that come in, and the community comes into this area.
Yes, sir.
Wow. Well, I thank you for taking your time out for us.
Problem. I appreciate everything.
It's truly a blessing. January 18th, 2025, the dream lives on. Come out and join us. March with us. No matter what race you are, what matter where you're at, come and join us. Unify, unity in the community. The dream lives on. January 18th, State of Opportunity. Love y'all and see y'all soon.
Thank you for everything, guys.